Bro, what the fuck?
Whoa!
Yeah. Pain. Yeah. Hey. I just wanna touch the top. Baby said that she in love and she don't love a lie. Been chillin' with all the bros, I've been above the spot. Shawty said that things change, well it does a lot. Hey, watching out the payment, man, the subs is high. Yeah, lost inside the heart, but it's emerging right. I've been out the way and I'm good. I can find my home. Everything I said it was is not. Yeah, Jamaica, how you layin'? Yeah, you ain't say none, what you saying, baby? I lost you, but who's paying? Don't know why you hit my phone, why you playing? Yeah, I can't handle love without the trust in, yeah. I can see the top, I wanna touch it, yeah. We been getting money, no discussion. I don't let the top of shorty always get the fussing, yeah. Hey, I like the cruise on it. Say she like the way I sound and how I groove on them. I been steady dodging bullets, how I move on them. But he talking out his neck and not a crew on them, yeah. And I'm sliding. Shawty like the vibe, don't want the ride to end, yeah. To the nice end, yeah. To the nice end. I can always keep the cool, I'm never fighting. Man, I love was all the cake without the icing. Now I found new love, different pricing. And it won't cost my soul, no devices. Yeah, I ain't got a plan for it, I'm the man for it. Silver Brody couldn't stand for it, it's very important. I've been off the edge, I've been feeling the wind blowing. I can lose my head and my heart, but they been gone. I just hit the edge of stairs when it's dead time. I just lost promises, I regret mine. I just gained a lot of love on the west side. I'm the go, but I would never be the best guy. You might take me out of business like I'm Best Buy. Talk about the go to maybe soon, I know that's right. Yeah. Talk about the go to maybe soon, I know that's right. Thinking about the future, looking good and it's the best side. I remember.
Dun dun dun.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Ride the Tide Sports Podcast, Season 3, Episode 6. My name is Tycho. I am happy to be joined tonight by McDilly and Snoop Luke, as well as Sick Nick, who we will bring in for just the fantasy football portion, which we will kick the show off with tonight. We have some watchers that are also in the fantasy league waiting to see where they will be drafting in this year's Ride the Tide Sports podcast fantasy football draft. So this is a fucking mouthful. This is the what third year of this league? No, second year of this league.
Third.
Switched up a little bit, but
This is
third
the
year.
fourth year.
This is
Fourth year.
yeah, it's our fourth
Yeah.
year total.
Because
Alright.
you won first. Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fourth year. All right, fourth year going
year's
into
my
it.
year.
There's just been a couple of roster changes with league managers, but yeah, okay, fourth year total. So fourth year going into it, and we have the I have the draft order, boys. I have it. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna get into some Ride the Tide fantasy football draft first thing. Then we have an NFL update, starting with Kayvon Thibodeau, who just went down in the Giants preseason game, and we have a clip of the injury. And we'll talk about that as well as some other NFL news, as well as NHL. We have Kadri signing a deal in Calgary and Calgary making a deal with the Flames. We have a little bit of NBA with Chet and the crossover game and James Harden in the next year's
the crossover
season.
quarter.
Crossover quarter, yeah. And then we have Monday best bets because this weekend, well, it's Sunday and you're not getting bets for tonight. So then we got midweek shenanigan review as well, MLB update and UFC 282 talking about Johnny Bones making his return, as well as Patty Pimblett and a UFC 278 recap. But with all of that being said, the very first thing we're getting into on today's podcast is the Ride the Tide fantasy football draft. So I'm going to bring in my girlfriend here, Nikki.
Hello.
Sick Nick, as Dylan calls her all the time. But Nikki, going into this year's Ride the Tide fantasy football draft, I know me and Luke, Luke, I'll get to you next. Me and Luke slept through it last year after we got drunk in Cincinnati.
Yeah.
But last year was your first football draft, and you got zero help from me at all. What are you looking
No, I
for? What are you looking for doing this
Uh.
year in this year's draft? Where do you want to be drafting?
Well, honestly, I feel like as long as I'm in front of Dylan again this year, then I'll be fine because he knows why.
Snipe Henry again.
But obviously going for first, if not first, second, you know how it is. But
Oh, I know how it is.
somewhere up top. But Dylan knows why I'd much rather be in front of him again this year. So
Dylan,
that's all I gotta say.
any rebuttals on that? Nikki did finish near the bottom last year.
She can take Derrick Henry and then win 5 games again, and that will be that. I got her week 1 as of right now, so that's all I care about.
Oh, fuck. Okay.
All right, Luke.
That's
We need a comeback from last year. I know I'm feeling good this year. Definitely not slump daddy and through this year's draft. But what are you looking forward to in this year's draft?
Well, hopefully not an AI picking my picks and picking all the scraps right behind your AI. That was nice. But this year, I'm hoping to get a high draft pick. I either want to be top 3 or I want to be bottom 2.
Jake
in the first round.
No, definitely good spots to be in the draft. Well, guys, I mean, I don't know if I want to delay it any longer. Let's just do it.
Fingers crossed.
You guys want me to roll through the whole thing and then talk about it, or do you want me to stop it after each one?
Man, stop it after each one. Go for 10.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I can definitely do that. All right, let me just add it in here real quick.
Randomize that shit. Oh, you're gonna put it in here? Oh God.
Oh, yeah, it's a full video that I have not watched yet.
Great. My heart rate is like 5 beats per second, and you're just taking your sweet ass time.
Who did the video?
I recorded the whole thing. I screen recorded. I walked away from it. It did the whole thing. I came back, and then I had to crop it. All right, let's see. I believe this is the one.
Do 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 do.
All right, this is it. All right. So, here we go. I ran it. I'm going to start it over from the beginning. Press raffle to run. Press raffle. Here we go.
So the first one's number 10.
The first winner is Team Nikki.
Ha!
It is the first overall pick.
What? We're going from 1 to 10?
Yes!
God, Dylan, are you fucking dumb as shit or what? First
this
overall
man always
pick
has the most backwards ways to do.
Team Nikki.
Bro, I swear he always has the most back-asswards ways of doing shit.
Oh my god.
This is so stupid, bro. You're such a waste of
Put it in the universe and it comes back to you. That is all I'm gonna say.
Oh, we know where
number
Derrick
one
Henry's
Thank you for the number 1 pick.
last, bro, and she gets the number 1 pick.
Not if she has Derrick Henry who stays healthy.
That's such a waste, bro. Fuck that. She's gonna take Nikki, and she's gonna take fucking Derrick Henry, and she's gonna rub it in my face and feel so good about it.
Nikki
I'm gonna
first
beat her by
overall.
40 points week 1. She's gonna be 0-9, and then I'll laugh back in her face. Fuck me. That's so annoying. She gets number 1. The worst player in the
All
league.
right.
Yes!
Moving on to number 2. Let's see who it's going to be. The second overall pick. Oh, Henry gets the second overall pick in this year's Ride the Tide Fantasy Football Draft. Numero dos.
Nikki, bro. Take anybody but Henry. Anybody. I swear to God.
Please take Henry.
Take anybody but Henry. I swear to God.
Take no one
we're
but
not
Henry.
doing this. We're not
Take
doing
no
this
one
2
but
years in a row.
Henry.
Dude, I swear
We're
to
not
don't
doing
do
this 2
like
years
that,
in a
bro.
row.
You did it last year. He got hurt. That was your karma. Do not do it again, okay?
No, you know
I'm
what my
giving you a
karma
second
was
chance.
giving him to
No,
Luke.
No,
That was my karma because Luke,
No, I got him in a different league.
no.
still, you
No.
got him,
God
period.
is
And then he
giving you
got
a
hurt.
Second chance to make things right this time. Do not fuck it up again. You do the same thing again, you're gonna fucking lose again. Make the right choice. Give number 3.
All right, moving on to number 3. Definitely
Don't do it.
a lot to look at
Henry.
with the top 2 picks in this year's draft, with some
Bro,
beef going into who that first pick's gonna be. Some big
Bill's gonna
beef.
go crazy 2 years without Henry.
Number 3,
I swear he's gonna kill me. Like
Team
actually.
Daisy.
Let's
Do
go.
not be fooled.
I'll take it.
This
Oh, wait, no.
this is Mitchell.
Mitchell.
This is your brother.
God.
This is Team Daisy. This is Mitchell Daisy, Luke's brother, with the 3rd overall pick in the draft.
Dylan
Bookie, you were peeing. Number 2 was Dylan. Number 1 is Nikki. Right now, number 3 is Mitchell. Team Daisy gets number 3. Moving on, let's get to number 4. The 4th overall pick in this year's Ride the Tide Fantasy Football Draft goes to Tycho's Tailgate Tanks.
Yeah.
All right, taking the number 4 spot. I don't love being in the middle, but I guess the 4th overall pick's not bad. I can get something solid there, and I'll be in the middle almost the whole time, just switching from back to 4th, but 4th to 6th pretty much. But I'll be right there in the middle, so I'll take it. With the 5th overall pick in this year's Ride the Tide Fantasy Football Draft, the winner is Captain Barkneys. Luke going right in the middle with the 5th overall pick.
They're both gone. What?
And he disappears. Luke, you can't.
Dylan's still
You can't
gone.
leave me high and dry on this. I need you. You're muted. I need you here. You're muted, Luke. I need you.
I gotta win the ship with
Okay.
Smith. Fuck.
Taking the 5
Oh my
spot
God.
is Captain Barkneys. All right, let's move on. 6th overall pick in this year's Ride the Tide Fantasy Football Draft goes to Team Wargo. Travis Wargo gets the 6th overall pick in this year's draft. Only a couple spots left, only a few teams left. The 7th spot goes to Team Mexico. Bookie, I am 99% sure that you are Team Mexico, so congratulations, Bookie. 7th overall pick in this year's draft. I know you're out there in the comments right now. If you want to send me something in the comments of a reaction, you got the 7th overall pick in this year's draft. Ryan Bookout, 7th winner is Team Mexico. All right, we got a couple more here. Still a couple more to go. He got a let's go from Bookie. The 8th overall pick in this year's draft is the Death Valley Vultures. That would be our own co-host member, Jesse Carter, also known as the Wanderer. He will be this year's 8th overall pick in the Ride the Tide Sports Fantasy Football Draft. I think he'll like that. I'm not going to lie, but we'll have to find out on next pod because he couldn't make it tonight. Still a couple teams left. Who's going to be last? We're not sure. Hernandez is killing it. Is going to be the 9th overall pick in this year's Ride the Tide Sports Podcast Fantasy Football Draft. Jake getting the 9th pick, almost getting the back-to-back pick, so not bad on that one.
Gone forever, Aaron Hernandez.
Hernandez is killing it. Will be drafted 9th, which means only one thing. There's only one guy left, and that is Big Mike. So with the 10th overall pick in the Ride the Tide Sports Podcast Fantasy Football Draft, Big Mike will be drafting 10th, which in some cases is kind of like getting a 1 because you get the back-to-back picks. So Big Mike gets 10th, and those are the results of the Fantasy Football Draft. Jake says can't be mad at that. Well, he meant to, but can't be mad at that. And Big Mike gets 10th. So that wraps up the Fantasy Football Draft. But just to make sure that we're all on the same page and everyone remembers what's going on here, here is the winners list from the draft. This is just a list of basically what went down in that draft. So, yeah, let's just look at it real quick. First overall, Team Nikki. 2nd, O. Henry. Third is Team Daisy, which is Mitchell, not Luke. Fourth, we have Tyco's Tailgate Tanks. Then right behind me, you have Luke at Captain Barknees, which goes right off of Saquon Barkley, if you guys didn't pick up on that. Sixth overall, Team Wargo. Seventh, Team Mexico, and that's Bookie. Eighth, we got Valley of Death Vultures, and that is the Wanderer. Ninth, Hernandez is killing it. And 10th is Big Mike. So Mike gets the back-to-back picks. Nikki, you get the first overall pick, but then you don't pick for a while, but it's going to be interesting to see. Honestly, I'm begging to see who that first overall pick is. But those are the picks for this year's Ride the Tide Sports Podcast Fantasy Football League. I will go over the East and West divisions just in case you guys wanted to know what those are. So I'll go over those right now as well. But how do you guys feel first thing coming off the draft? Luke, we'll start with you overall. Where everyone's at. How do you think it's going to go?
Well, I probably ain't winning because I'm not going to get the middle of the pack players, and you don't win the ship with middle of the pack players.
All right. I don't know about that. I think you could still pull something off. There's a way to pull off something at all moments and opportunities because you never know if someone fucks up and you say, whoa, why the hell would they take that guy? But you never know. Dylan, what about you? You're muted. You're muted, my friend.
Oh, you muted me.
Yeah, great.
Thanks for that, Ty.
Nope, you did that. I couldn't unmute you because you did it yourself.
I can't mute myself. I don't know how to do that. But
okay.
I will just say that if Derrick Henry's taken first overall, I'm not playing this year. So.
You're the only kid to cry about having a fucking second overall pick in a fantasy draft. Who gives a fuck? I got fit.
Only to piss you off. I would have done it too, and so would 90% of the league, just to not piss you off.
Honestly,
but to
Derrick
try
Henry,
to win the league.
Derrick Henry's still probably going to be the first overall pick in a lot of leagues. So, like, you not getting the first overall, I mean, that's just almost automatic.
Oh no! Oh no! I'm not going to get Derrick Henry. I'm going to end up with Jonathan Taylor.
Oh no! Oh no!
How terrible is that, Jonathan Taylor? He's so bad. Oh my goodness! How could you ever? But I will show you the standings so you guys see who's going to be in your division. Starting with the East, we have Tyco's Tailgate Tanks, the Vultures, Team Nikki, Hernandez is killing it, and Big Mike.
That's an easy Jesse dub.
That is not an easy Jesse dub. I am taking this man down, and Jake will definitely have something to say about that. And Big Mike was on a roll last year until he fell off at the end of the year. So I don't know about that.
Jake's been consistently in the pack.
I don't know about that.
That's true. Jake
see what I mean? Easy claps, says Jake.
Ty did win the
says easy claps. Whatever, Jake.
I mean, Ty did have 2 bad years the last 2 years, but he would get the tip the first year.
They've been sleeping on me, Luke.
Last year in that division,
They've been sleeping on me. And over in the West, we got Team Mexico, Team Wargo, Team Daisy, Captain Barknees keeping the Daisy brothers in the same division, and O. Henry.
I didn't want Mitchell or Bookie, and I got them both. Fuck. Those are the only 2 I didn't want, and I got both of them. That's an L. But Luke. It's okay. The better competition makes you better. Luke, you got a stacked division, my brother.
Yeah.
You got any thoughts, Luke?
I don't know. I don't know. It's going to be difficult.
Yeah, Bookie, you fucking wish. Actually, you know what? You might get an easy dub, but then we see how you do in playoffs. You're just like the Packers, so.
Ouch.
That did happen. The one year. But the full standings are as shown right there for you. So we are ready. The draft will be this Sunday at 6 o'clock. I will post the draft results on Twitter for those of you that want to see the draft results, and we can talk about it. We'll definitely talk about it on the next podcast. So definitely get in there. And, a little trash talk being thrown. Ryan Bookout calling Dylan a 1-year wonder equals Dylan.
Well, this 1-year wonder kicked Bookie out of the league. He had to take a year off after my defeat. So this 1-year wonder was able to knock your ass off the high horse for a year. So we'll see what happens again.
Yeah, exactly. We're definitely going to see what happens. This year's fantasy football is going to get heated. I hope we can all be friends. Remember, it's all heated. Friendly. But with that being said, let's hope we don't end up like these guys. We got UFC with Snoop Luke coming up next, and we'll get into more of the news on today's podcast.
I'm talking in guap, now I'm speaking it fluent. When I hit the road, I won't leave till I do it. Acting out of hand, I'm like, be what you doing. We started off good, can't believe that we ruined it, yeah. I tried to fix with a sewing kid, yeah. I tried to fix it, you know I did, yeah. I tried to fix it, you know I did, yeah.
All right. Now let's calm it down a little bit. We're talking about some people beating the shit out of each other. I'm just going to see how long it takes for him to realize.
Luke, Dylan's being an asshole. You're me.
I wanted to see how long it took for him to realize.
Or you could say something because we're running a fucking podcast, but you know. Tony Ferguson is taking on Li Jingliang. September 10th, UFC 279. And now, that's really the only new fight announced.
That is what I am, Bookie. Hey, that didn't happen last year.
Well, now to get into the UFC news.
My apologies.
We got Paddy Pimblett, who's bulking up after he just fought basically almost exactly a month ago. He is up about 50 pounds plus. He is over 200 pounds, and he just fought at 155 a month ago.
What the fuck? That's not normal.
Yeah, that is not normal.
Because you know, once his fight is announced, he'll go back to 155, and you'll be like, "What the fuck?" He's a shapeshifter.
Yeah, he really is. But then we got bigger news because Johnny Boy is coming back, and he's fighting at UFC 282, which is only a couple pay-per-views away, which I'm fucking excited. I've been wanting to watch this man fight for a very long time, and now he's back in the octagon. I want to see what he's still got. It's going to be I want to see it.
100%. I'm excited to sell.
But to get into why we're really all here,
come on now.
We got the UFC 278 recap. And to start it off first, I mean, basically, Pedro, a minute 5 seconds in, absolutely just dusted Hunsucker. I mean, he kind of lives up to his name. He really does suck, but he did not last long. That was just embarrassing.
That was a horrible performance. I felt bad for this man.
Took a few body shots, fell down, and then, that was it.
Nah, not very good. But Tyson Pedro is coming up.
It wasn't that exciting of a fight because it really was over quick.
Nope. That's what you do.
Next up, fight number 2, a very not exciting fight. Yanan Wu fought Lucy Pudil. I still can't say that last name, so I'm not even going to try. But, yeah, anyways.
Pudilova.
Yeah, there we go. You said it. Well, I was feeling Wu, but then next thing you know, apparently Lucy wasn't feeling Lou because she threw her to the ground and just hugged her on the ground for 2 fucking rounds. Or no, for like a little bit, and then decided, hey, maybe I'll start smashing her. Like a whole fight later.
Yeah, then she waited for the 1 round and just bashed her with fucking
She would hug her for like 10 to 20 seconds and then throw 1 strike. And then hug her for another 10 to 20 seconds.
So annoying, bro.
I was like, what the fuck is this?
Very irritating. But
I was finally happy when it was over.
It was, yeah. I was expecting a decision. I didn't think there was going to be a finish.
Then to follow it up, we had another boring-ass fight with Jose Aldo taking Merab the
Bro, this man Aldo
fight
showed up for 1 round and then decided to start yawning and talking shit rounds 2 and 3, but wouldn't do anything. It was so
He wasn't doing anything, but neither was Merab.
Merab, honestly.
He was 0-16 on takedowns. At what point are you going to be like, okay, maybe takedowns ain't how I'm going to win this fight?
I felt like I was going to be mad at whoever won. Because I was going to be like, neither of you should have fucking won.
I mean, I definitely wanted Aldo to do more because he just like went to sleep halfway through the fight. But I think that was highly due to the fact that like Merab wasn't doing anything except holding him on the fence.
Exactly.
Like,
and I guess control was the only reason that he probably got that decision.
Yeah, but what kind of saved the night was
The
Paulo
last
Costa
2 fights.
and Luke Rockhold, because this was a banger of a fight. Let me tell you that. Luke Rockhold went out like an absolute champ, brought this out to a decision when he was dog-ass tired after the first round. Like, man was it like 2 minutes into the second round and was holding his legs hunched over, catching his breath in the middle of the fight.
Yeah, this was one of my top 3 favorite fights of the year, strictly for one, how out of breath he was, and you could tell out of shape he was. And then in the third round,
They both
when he
kind
was
of were, to be
on his
honest.
knees, and then just said, "Fucking left hand, fucking left hand, bro."
Honestly, Paulo was a little gassed too. I mean, not a little. He was pretty gassed too because he had to dig deep. I mean, Luke had to dig way fucking deeper. And don't get me wrong, but Paulo had to dig pretty deep in his gas tank to get through that one because Luke was not going away. Everyone talking about that glass chin.
Then he finished it with rubbing his blood all over his face.
I know.
He
almost won the fight like 3 or 4 times. Almost slipped him into submission.
Yeah.
But at that point, the bodies were just like very slippery, and he just
Plus, he was also fucking exhausted.
Exactly, too. He couldn't hold on for shit.
And that's why at the end he, I believe, announced that he is officially done fighting. He said he's quote unquote too old for this shit.
Luke did hang up. He did put his gloves down in the octagon after, and he did retire. He said, "Literally, I'm too old for this shit.
Gone forever, Aaron Hernandez.
I gave him my all. I'm too old for this shit. I can't do it."
But I mean, hey, that was honestly, if you're gonna lose a fight, that's not at all a bad way to go out.
That is really not a bad way to go out at all.
Mm-mm.
And what was it? Joe Rogan. Where is it? It's the full quote that Luke gave to Joe Rogan. It was, "I've been through so much in the last few years. I fucking thank you. The fighting fans. Thank you, UFC. Thank you, Joe. I fucking can't do this anymore. I gave it my all. I just didn't. I'm fucking old." Dana White also had more to say, saying he will never say anything about him. I totally respect him because Luke was talking a lot of shit about the UFC leading up to this fight. And Dana's like, "I'm letting the past be the past," because the amount of heart Luke fought with, he earned a lot of respect from a lot of people that night.
100%.
Already have it.
He deserves it.
But moving on to the absolute fucking shock of the
fucking kick
nation,
hurt
the world, all around the. Oh my God, the kick hurt around the world. Well, let's just start it off with round 1. Leon took it to Usman. Took his ass on the ground. Controlled his ass on the ground.
Got the first takedown ever in his 16-fight career.
And then second round hits, starts, Leon starts losing a bit. Third round hits, and Usman's just feeling himself. He's getting his shit going.
Fourth round,
Usman's getting his shit going again. And now this is more of a dominant fight for Usman.
Fifth round, for 4 minutes.
Usman was dominating.
Still going.
And then with 58 seconds left in the fight, after being dominated for almost 4 rounds fully straight.
Fakes the right.
Hits them with the head kick. Fucking puts his lights out. He was done. He was out. Like, he was out cold. He was stiff. He didn't even have enough time to fold like a lawn chair. Just absolutely just bang, whipped back.
Dropped
Holy
him.
Shit.
And Leon loses his shit and goes crazy. And
his nickname isn't Rocky for nothing. Gets the shit kicked out of him for the entire fight. And this out of nowhere, wait, what's this? Oh, he just put him to fucking sleep. What?
Unfucking real.
And with the amount, that's just crazy. It's just, well, Usman came out and he's being a very good sport about it.
That could be one of the best upsets of all time. You got to think about it, bro, because
Joe Rogan thinks so. He says nothing compares. It's the greatest head kick knockout in the history of the sport.
yes.
With the most consequences, the most at stake, the most doubt, and the most people counting him out.
Yes, because the only other one I could think of would be Holly Holm, Ronda Rousey. And this is not disrespecting Ronda Rousey. Usman is a different caliber of fighter. He is a different. He had a bigger name. He was just different, man. And the fact that he did it with 55 seconds left in the final round.
I said it. I was even playing roulette Friday night and was talking to the dealer about this card. And I was telling him, because he was all for Usman knocking out Leon. I was like, listen, you don't want Usman to stand and bang with Leon. That's going to be a bad mistake. That's more of Leon's bread and butter, a lot more than a lot of people he's faced. And he's a lot more slick with the strikes. You try and stand with him. He's gonna put Usman out. 100%. What the fuck happened? I gotta go back on roulette and search for that dealer again because we gotta talk about that shit again.
You're gonna be like, motherfucker. He's gonna be like, I don't want to hear it, man.
He owes me a free round on roulette now. Come on. No, I'm kidding.
But it was a banger card, man. That last two fights, saved that card and turned it into a banger.
Honestly. Really did, because the first three were fucking donkey.
Big Mike goes, you guys fucked me.
He doesn't understand where he's
getting
back-to-back picks if he thinks he got fucked just because he's not first.
I'll trade. Hey, tell him I'll trade with him. I'll trade with him.
He's watching.
All right. Going on,
Mike, I'll
going
trade
on to
with
the
you.
NFL
You want
update.
number 5? You want number 5, Big Mike? We'll switch.
Going on to the NFL update today, we have breaking news coming out of New York, and that is Kayvon Thibodeau being injured in the Giants preseason game, and it was not a good-looking injury. I will roll the clip here of the Kayvon Thibodeau injury.
Another look at it, Carl. Yeah, you got to get, they prevent the defensive. Another look at it, Carl. Yeah, you got to get, they prevent the defensive. Another look at it, Carl. Yeah, you got to get, they prevent.
Yikes.
It looks really bad. It looks dirty. It looks intentional.
Was it?
I hope that he didn't tear
Wait,
something.
play that back. I gotta see that again.
Another look at it, Carl. Yeah, you got to get, they prevent the defensive. Another look at it, Carl. Yeah, you got to get, they prevent the.
I think he meant to go higher than he did.
No, thank you.
But he went so low and he hit his knee. He left the game, ruled out after the first quarter due to a knee injury caused by a low block from Thaddeus Moss. Initial reactions, Dylan, after seeing it, I'll play it one more time. Is it dirty?
Another look at it, Carl. Yeah, you got to get, they prevent the.
Yeah, the Bengals are a bunch of dirty fucks. I've been saying it for a year. No, I'm kidding. I'm gonna take the Bengals out of it. I do think that it was a little low. I don't think that was necessary. I think that
especially in the preseason.
I feel like he was almost targeting his waist and then just almost slipped and maybe went a little lower. But in the preseason, like you just said, I don't think there was any reason for you to even be going that low.
Okay, honestly, Dylan, I think you explained that perfectly because it was like I don't think it was fully intentional to hit where he ended up. I think he was trying to go higher, but I understand like that is still a pretty low hit in the first place.
Right.
And he kind of like slipped lower off the leg and kind of went more crushing his bottom.
It's like, did he mean to do it?
Foot.
No. But should he have been that low in the first place?
No.
No, I agree with both of those things, but it was definitely too low for preseason football. But what was too high for preseason football, might you ask? Well, hopefully it's not Blake Gilligan, because Blake Gilligan had an 81-yard punt, and hopefully he hasn't been too high recently because he's being drug tested by the NFL for PEDs. Obviously, that has nothing to do with him possibly getting high or not, but performance-enhancing drugs after an 81-yard punt. And you know what? That's justifiable because people don't punt the ball 81 yards. So
he tweeted, punt at your own risk.
That is exactly what he did. He tweeted that he got a text message from the NFL and said, punt at your own risk, because it's dangerous for punters out here with these big calves and big thighs, Punting it that far, you're getting drug tested. What do you guys think about this?
But what would be absolutely hilarious to me is if he actually failed the drug test. And then,
God, imagine.
And then he goes back out.
He's been juicing the leg up. Just
listen to me. Listen.
So you're tired.
He goes back out, right?
Yeah.
First punt back, it's like a 40-yard punt, like a
shanked out of bounds, just
punt. Like
shitty.
This whole time he's been using these steroids, and now that he finally can't, he's like, shit. I cannot punt a ball.
Just find that funny that a punter, or let alone just a kicker in general, is getting tested.
That's hilarious,
right?
Bro. What about
when are they going to test Justin Tucker? Test that.
Yeah, what the hell? What about the 60-yarder?
Yeah, they should have tested him after that.
Yeah,
shit.
like what the hell? I think that guy's up to something, but whatever.
62-yard field goal.
Just me. Just Tucker. He can do that. Oh, do we know why? No, maybe you can just do that. Okay, all right.
Yeah, I'm happy I played him in fantasy that week.
Damn, I never knew that. That's horrible.
All right, moving on. We have the USFL to NFL roster. What's the move
here? This guy
here?
is a fucking stud, apparently. Coming out of nowhere. He is making his name being the kick returner in preseason right now. Well, he's wide receiver and kick returner for the Dallas Cowboys. But the reason why he is a big name is because he had not one punt return for 98 yards for the first score. Oh, sorry. You guys were asking for the name.
He. Who the hell is he?
I didn't realize. I never actually said the name. Kevontae Turpin. He got a 98-yard punt or kickoff touchdown, and then later in the game on a punt return made a couple man juke, made a couple moves, and then got an 80-yard punt return touchdown.
Oh my!
So if
Deshaun
you want
Jackson?
a way to make the roster,
Is that you?
I would say that's one way to do it.
Deshaun Jackson, what are you doing in my car? What? That sounds like some Deshaun Jackson type shit. I think.
But dude, what are you doing in my car?
I think that's exactly what you want. You know, you need a good special teams guy, and if you found someone with that type of speed and that type of elusiveness, sign that boy.
100%.
He was a USFL All-Star as far as I'm concerned. So why not make an NFL roster? If you're the best in the USFL,
he was the MVP.
You could be on the special teams in the NFL, probably, most likely.
We'll
see. Just the start to
we'll
turn
see.
The
How bad could it really go?
To the farm club.
How bad could it really go? But more news. Mahomes has been inducted to the Texas Tech Hall of Fame. He will be inducted in the Texas Tech Hall of Fame. No one's surprised. He's given a lot of money. I mean, he's a great quarterback. He's one of the best in the NFL. There's no reason not to be in the Texas Tech Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Luke?
Wow, that's insane, dude. I didn't see this coming. That's
Mahomes?
Shit.
This guy's got jokes. Something that you really might not have seen coming, though, is Urban Meyer returning to Fox Big Noon Kickoff. This guy just realized the NFL was not for him, said, oh, my God, the NFL is too much. I'm going back to college. Now he's back to Fox Big Noon Kickoff.
Well, if his past hasn't said anything, you never know what he's really
What are we going for here? Is this Fox Big Noon Kickoff for the NFL or for college?
It's NFL.
NFL? Oh, my. Oh, never mind.
He's going to the NFL. Anything about
well, staying in the NFL, I guess. But
why? He doesn't deserve to talk about the game of the NFL.
No,
he doesn't know shit about it.
He blew it up. He should go on College Game Day or something, if anything. But they won't even respect him there anymore. So
the Jags are gonna have 5-6 wins. He's gonna be like, I mean, they're all right. I could have made them a 9-win team, but you know what?
Oh my God. Oh my God, he's gonna say some absurd shit. I can already see it. This isn't gonna last long. Urban's gonna say some ridiculous stuff
the whole year. There's no fucking way.
Something's gonna be said. We don't know what it is, but something's gonna be said about this man, this team, Jaguars. Something. It's gonna blow up in his face, but it might be great. So
for entertainment,
we'll see what comes from that.
I'll watch.
Let us know in the comments what you think about Urban Meyer returning to Fox.
Put
Big
him
Noon
and Booger
Kickoff.
McFarlane on. I'll watch.
Oh God, no! Booger was the worst. Oh my God, Booger was one of the worst. Stop it. Urban and Booger, let them commentate a game or something. That'd be horrible. But the Jets have a linebacker that was fined $10,000 for a late hit.
What are you doing, cracking quarterbacks in preseason? What do you get out of that? I don't understand. Does it make you feel good? I don't understand that. Okay, so here's how I look at it. If Jets linebacker had a helmet-to-helmet hit on Jalen Hurts, quarterback, in preseason, you're going to get fined $10,000. You're going to get flagged. You're going to get kicked out of the game. I think the Jets
Gone forever, Aaron Hernandez.
I think the Jets said that he's suspended or they're sitting him. Either way, like he's not playing the final preseason game. So why? There's no way it was worth it. And I saw the hit. It looked intentional. I just don't understand the meaning behind it. Like, why would you? Why?
Who the fuck is that guy?
Could you guys think of a reason? I mean, I can't think of one good one other than to just be like, oh, I'm here. The big dog's here.
Other than the fact that you're trying to be like, hey, like I'm back here by the quarterback, making my presence known, yada yada. Like, other than that, like, you're an idiot. And you're trying to start a fight. Clearly, I'm like, what's wrong with you? Did something go bad in the scrimmage drills that week? What happened?
He's a first-year, second-year player. You don't got the money to be getting fined $2,000 for doing this dumbass shit.
Come on. That's a hit. Right now. Right. So God only knows how much money you're gonna make if you ever leave. So be smart, Come on, be better than that.
Unless you're an old lineman, you're not making.
I can't think of a good reason though. I can't think of one good reason as to why that's justifiable, especially in the preseason. The same with the Thibodeau, like the low block. Like,
yeah, what are we doing here?
What are we doing in the preseason? Why? Eventually there's going to be no preseason if people keep doing dumb shit like this.
Those are the ones that get cut and don't make the main fucking roster.
Exactly.
For being stupid.
You know who else is having a tough preseason, Dylan?
Oh, no. Please be someone I like. Or
Nebraska. Nebraska's O-line sounds like they might be out of shape or they're just working really hard, but there's a story to be told here.
Yeah, so Nebraska, here's essentially what's happening. Nebraska's head coach says that there are 15 to 20 vomits every practice from his offensive line under his new position coach. And he goes, I think that they love it. Well, I just want to start off by saying, I think that they're dying because that is a pretty good sign of heat stroke. And your team has not been performing well the past couple of years. And I don't exactly think this is going to make a man type situation. I think you're killing your team. I think you're killing your team slowly. But what do you guys think? 15 to 20 times a practice?
What do you got, Luke? You got to unmute yourself here, but we're interested to hear what you have to say.
Very much.
That's fucked up.
That's just fucked up. How many times did you throw up doing off ice in one day when you were doing off ice, Luke, in Arizona?
Like, what's the most?
I mean, there was only a couple.
Did you throw up 6 times a day?
No.
You didn't throw up 15 to 20 times in practice?
No? Nothing like that?
Are
you sure?
No, because it's not healthy.
Oh, it's not?
You're dying.
That can't be healthy.
You mean that's not something you should be doing?
Probably not, no.
Well, I mean, to be fair, Nebraska fans the past couple of years have been vomiting 15 to 20 times every game that they have to watch. So. Oh, did he really say that? But he did.
Oh, he said it and he meant it, and it's true.
He's about to kill him before the season even fucking starts. They're gonna have nothing to fucking.
He's gonna go out week 1.
I want to teabag him, lad. I want to teabag him like it's Modern Warfare 2.
Week 1. Why you guys so goddamn sluggish on the O-line out there? They're gonna come back dead.
No, they're gonna walk in. He's gonna be like, all right, guys, let's get out there and go real hard.
Nebraska on 3. 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3. Sorry, guys, I get triggered when he says like "let's go" or something, or every time I hear a whistle.
I just imagine every time that they throw up, like it's like the 15th time they throw up, and he's like, "Make sure you guys staying hydrated."
Ain't no way those guys.
Bro, fuck you.
I'm gonna throw.
They're like, "Where is the transfer portal? I need it."
This is messed up. I can't do this anymore.
Their buddies thinking about coming there. They're like, "Don't man.
Come here.
Don't do it."
When can we go to the transfer portal? But we do have more to talk about, getting into some NHL news just a little bit here, and that has to do with Kadri signing a 7-year, $7 million deal in Calgary. Let's go to Luke.
Ooh.
Well, I mean, this is huge. They had to replace Johnny Hockey, and they kind of did. I mean, Kadri's a stud.
He is 32.
He is getting old, and
A 7-year deal is
this
really
just
39.
fits the right description of a guy the Flames would pick up right about now. To try and save their organization.
From burning in a hellhole. Yeah,
which will probably save them a little bit, but at the end of the day, they're probably not going to go on a cup run.
I was all on board with this deal until I saw they got rid of Monahan, and then I was like, "Yep, never mind."
What's actually funny is the Oilers for a while didn't even announce the trade, or not the Oilers, the Canadians.
Yeah, so what do you call it?
That
so right after they got Kadri, I was on board, and I was like, "All right, this is a done deal." And then immediately after, I saw that Monahan got traded to Montreal, and I was like, "Well, god damn it!" Now Kadri has more fucking weight on his shoulders.
Was it the? No, I think it was the Canadians. Ty, I misspoke too. I meant to say Canadians. It wasn't the Oilers.
And Calgary is trading back to him future considerations. What could it be? Only God knows.
That was it. A lot of people are speculating that they didn't announce it immediately because their doctors are still going over his like medical records because he's injury prone as fuck.
Well, what do you think about Monahan to the Canadians? I'm gonna be honest. I don't think it means shit.
What do you mean? It's to the Canadians. What are?
But I mean, for
Canadians?
Calgary and Kadri and them, I feel like that kind of fucking hurts that deal with Kadri. This is my opinion.
Well, it opened up room for the deal with Kadri, is what it did.
That's true. That's true. It did.
They needed to get rid of some cap room in order to sign Kadri to that deal.
I'm not gonna lie. For some reason, now that they don't have Gaudreau, I just look at Calgary in a different light. I'm sorry. Just in a completely different light. I look at them as like they were competitors and contenders in the league, and now I just kind of look at them as the Flames. Okay.
And then you look at Johnny. It's like, oh, it's just Johnny. He plays for the Blue Jackets.
Exactly. It's so annoying. Why couldn't you go to a fucking contender? Or the Wings.
Yeah.
The Blue Jackets could be a contender, but they're just gonna stay a shitty contender.
That they probably will.
So depressing. At least he gets to hear the cannon. Hope it's fun.
Yeah, the cannon is definitely fun. So as long as he scores, that'd be good. But that is all we have on the NHL. I told you it was a quick NHL update, and it is a quick NBA update as well. They
normally are in the summer.
Yeah. So the first thing we have for the NBA is Chet was injured in the crossover.
So let me talk about the Pro-Am crossover. Just let me give you a recap. All right, this is good. So here's what happened. You have some All-Stars that are coming to play. In this game, you have Jason Tatum, LeBron James, Chad Holmgren, DeJounte Murray, Pablo Banchero, dogs. You know what I mean? They all come to play in this Pro-Am for Jason Crowder's charity thing called Crossover. And here's how it starts. It starts in with first quarter happens, and Jason Tatum balls out. He drops 20 points. He's going crazy behind the line. He's throwing lobs to LeBron. LeBron's doing his thing. Chet Holmgren, 2 minutes into the game, gets injured and taken out. So what a horrible thing to get injured in. But we don't know the severity of the injury or what the x-rays or anything like that is yet. And yes, I would probably say it is because he's
39 saying too skinny.
He is.
Just too skinny.
I feel like a goddamn twig, and that's what happens. But Chet gets injured, and then we go over to the actual game. Oh, wait, I mean quarter, because after the first quarter, that's it. The game is over because of condensation in the court. And what everybody on Twitter is saying that either attended the event or was, there, is saying it was basically hot as hell. Like, it was like being in a sauna. The court is in sauna conditions. It's going to fuck up the court. And that's exactly what happened. First quarter got canceled. All the people that stayed overnight for 2-3 days to watch Jason Tatum, LeBron James, and all these All-Stars play got to watch them play for a quarter. And I know that fucking sucks. But the only other thing that happened that was noticeable is Pablo and what's his name? DeJounte Murray finally squashed their beef. Remember they had some beef going on social media. They had a situation where DeJounte got fouled by Pablo, and then Pablo fell, but then DeJounte picked him up, and then was like they smiled at each other and like patted each other, and they were like, "All right, we're good." And that was the whole crossover event.
All right, that about sums that up. But with one more piece of NBA, James Harden looking real thin in the gym, but very, very, very muscular as well. Looking a lot better than he did when he got traded and was looking like big James Harden. Will James Harden have an improved 2022-2023 season?
Yes, 2 reasons. One, he's in one of the best shape he's been in the longest time. I would say he's not been in this good a shape.
I'd say probably 4 or 5 years.
I was going to say when he was MVP type year. And secondly, he knows his role. He knows his role, and it's taken him 2 years to realize that he's not going to be the James Harden that comes out here and drops 60 points and has 30 points on free throws. It's not going to happen anymore. He knows he's a role player on the starting court in terms of he's going to get crazy assist numbers. He should have double-digit assist numbers. He should average 9, 10 fucking assists. I'm not going to lie, a game. The way he's positioned with the caliber of players that he's going to have in that starting lineup, I think that he knows his role better. He's in great great shape, and I think that he's going to have a great year. I think that him and Embiid are going to be a great duo if Embiid comes back healthy and also in great shape. What do you think?
Well, man, I think Philly sucks, but I really do think that James Harden has a chance to have a really good year. I think that James Harden does know his role, like you mentioned, and that he'll fill that role this year. Obviously, he goes on his ups and downs with his shooting and whatnot, but the way that they've been able to fill out that roster and with the pay cut that he took to help fill out that roster, I think that they're definitely going to be strong contenders this year. And God only knows if they can make it to the finals. But
if Embiid has
definitely going to be a better year for Harden this year. I definitely agree.
If Embiid has another MVP year, shit could get scary.
It could definitely get scary. But let's get Luke back in here. And let's go over tomorrow's Monday. So we have some Monday's best bets to give the people. So we're going to go over Monday's best bets is what we're going to call it. We have not done this before, but it's basically just the weekend bets extended. So let's get into Monday's best bets. Who wants to go first? Any volunteers?
You know what? I'll go first.
Oh, thank you, Dylan.
I never go first, but
no one can jack it.
Don't get mad at me, okay? And Luke, Tyler, you can't get mad at me because Jesse got mad at me last time. But don't get mad at me.
Okay.
But I'm taking the Marlins, and I'm taking their spread -1.5 to beat Oakland, and I'm taking Pablo Lopez over strikeouts, over 7.5.
Which is over 7.5.
That would be my bet. Game's at 9:40 Monday night.
Is the pitch line out? Do you know it's 7.5, or are you just saying that?
I'm just saying that.
Oh, okay. All right, for sure. Luke, we'll have you go next.
Well, you see, I got a little lay.
Ooh.
Serve him up a lay, Luke.
I'm gonna go Rays, Mets, and Dodgers.
I like that.
Ooh, who's playing who? Let's hear it.
Rays are playing the Angels.
Okay.
Thank you.
-190. Mets are playing the Yankees, -165.
W.
Dodgers are playing the Brewers, -250.
You put those all together, what you getting?
+243.
Okay, for sure. Almost tripling your money. Not a bad bet there. All right, got a lay there. Dylan's got a same game lay going. How about I hand out a same game lay as well? Let's head over to the Atlanta Braves and Pittsburgh Pirates game on Monday. Let's head over to the innings. Let's head over to a first inning under 1 run. No run first inning in the Atlanta Braves and Pittsburgh Pirates game. And then let's also take the Braves to win this game as well. Take that on the bet slip. Put those two together. And what are we going to get?
Jeez.
Oh, they exited me out. Hold on. Let me load it back up for you real quick. I can do this.
You got this.
Under a half. I got this. Add. Popular. Bet slip. +153 on the no-run first inning Atlanta Braves money line. +153 against the Pittsburgh Pirates. And those are Monday's best bets. Coming up next, we have baseball with McDilly. We will be right back.
Hey everybody, what's going on? Taking a quick break in the action here to tell you about sixpackcoverage.com. Make sure you guys check out sixpackcoverage.com because, hey, that's where you find our podcast as well as other sports, finance, food, travel, fitness, and entertainment podcasts for your own personal needs. You know, whatever you're into, hop on there, check it out. Sixpackcoverage.com also has a shop where you can shop for all your favorite six-pack coverage wants and needs like flags and t-shirts, including the Ride the Tide t-shirt, which is out now. Be sure to check out sixpackcoverage.com today.
Here we go. So, where are we starting? We're starting with Albert. Perfect way to start. So, for those of you who don't know, Albert Pujols has probably played in I don't want to say 50%, 45% of the games this year. And a big reason of that is because it's his final year and his age and all those factors. But I say cut the bullshit and let the man play because he's been heating up. He's been heating the fuck up this week. And not only that, he hit 2 homers the other day. He hit 691 and 692. He is 8 homers away. He is going to hit 700 before the year is over. I am going to tell myself that, and I'm going to update you every single time until he gets 700, because he will get to 700 before this year is over. I'm telling you, Albert's on the grind, and Albert's going in for the kill for 700, and it's going to happen. I'm telling you. You got to believe. But Albert hit 2 more, and he's staying red hot. Next piece of news. Ooh. Once again, I told you I'm going to keep doing it if he keeps doing it. Jacob deGrom, once again, 6 innings pitched, 9 strikeouts. His ERA is continuing to lower, and his K/9 ratio is continuing to climb. The whip's continuing to lower. deGrom, I don't give a shit what people say. He should be 3rd or 2nd in Cy Young voting. The only reason he's not is because Alcantara deserves to fucking win that Cy Young. But if deGrom played a full year, I'm telling you right now, he would have won it because he is a superhuman. He's unbelievable. Best pitcher in the game, and I'll continue to say it. Next piece of news. Huh. Jesus. This one's sad. Here's why. So the San Diego Padres, they basically made 2 big trades at the deadline, okay? They've got Juan Soto, and then the second they got Soto, they had the Fernando Tatis situation happen, so that kind of fucks with them. Then they got Josh Hader, whose ERA since becoming the closer in San Diego is 16.20, which means this motherfucker can't pitch. He can't close out a game. Hell, he can't pitch in a game right now without getting absolutely blasted. Oh, God, I had to rephrase what I was about to say. It was going to sound so wrong. But without getting that doesn't work either. I was gonna say torn apart. I'm just gonna move forward because Jesus, both of those are gonna sound super fun. So he's taking a break. No,
who the fuck is that guy?
That's gonna be gone for a minute, and for that closer role. And I don't know who else is gonna fill in the shoes, but I'll tell you right now, whoever it is, they're gonna do a lot better job than a 16.20 fucking ERA. Jesus. Next piece of news, and I believe it is the Yankees' downfall. And I got 2 things to say. 1, Aaron Boone is finally pissed off. Good. I like this man finally cares. This man normally just walks around like he doesn't give a shit about anything and just, chews bubble gum, keeps walking. Are you having a good day? Yeah, I'm having a great day. He's like fucking Captain Holt from Brooklyn Nine-Nine. You can't read this guy for shit. But he finally shows a little bit of emotion here. He slams the table. He says we need to play some better baseball. He's getting pissed off. He says we're 4-14. We shouldn't be losing games that we're losing. And he's right. But you know what the problem is here's my second thing that I want to talk about. 4-14. The Dodgers, since acquiring Joey Gallo, are 14-4. The Yankees, since losing Joey Gallo, are 4-14. And Gallo's hitting over 300. I'm not saying the Joey Gallo effect is real, but it could be fucking real. I just want to throw this out there because I've been seeing it now for a week, and I haven't believed it until now because it's continuing to go one way for one team and the other for the other team, and Gallo's actually not striking out 3 times every game. So, the Joey Gallo effect could be a thing. Just keep your eye on that.
Dylan, we have a quick comment from a listener. Mr. Blackstar39 says, I believe he was referring back to the Josh Hader taking a break from a role as a closer. Has a comment saying, as he should, he's garbage. The Phillies broke him.
I hate to say it because I'm not a big Philly guy, but he is 100% correct. And Philadelphia did break him because then after that, I don't think I've seen him pitch a start where he goes more than 2 consecutive batters without 2 consecutive hits being hit. It's fucking bad. And Josh Hader is absolutely in the dog pen. I would send his ass to AAA right now. I'm not even going to bullshit with you. But next thing we got to talk about, we got Fernando Tatis Jr. once again being talked about this podcast because I saw this today, and apparently the Padres are livid with Fernando Tatis, and he has made enemies in the clubhouse after testing positive for PED. People are pissed, and I'm gonna just ask you, Tyler. Do you think that all the people, and when I say all the people, I mean there's high ups, GMs, and even players that are pissed off at him? Do you think they have a right to be, or do you think that this is more of like, come on, man, he made a mistake, like we shouldn't be hard on him type shit? But at the same time, you did just sign him to a 14-year deal.
Signing him to a 14-year deal has a lot to do with it, and also the old heads that have all that to do with the integrity of the game type of vibes definitely are going to be upset the same way they're upset when any player is caught using PEDs and doesn't play for their team.
This is the same guy who got shit for hitting a grand slam on a 3-0 count. So
yeah, no, it is the same guy. But when it comes to these GMs that are all about the rules, you can't break the rules.
I kind of agree with that 100%, and I hate to say it, but that's how it is for him. And my take on it, honestly, is I think that Fernando Tatis is going to come back and still be an all-star. Sorry, I don't think he's going to be broken. But somebody who I do think is broken is Marcell Ozuna. I think this man is unbelievable. So Marcell Ozuna has done some things in the past that I'm not even going to talk about, but I'm just going to say he's made some fucking mistakes, and he's not a very good man. But now he has been arrested once again, but this time on DUI charges. Drunk driving is not something you can do, and Marcell Ozuna apparently thinks it is, because as he was talking to the cop, I'm not one to talk about police reports on this podcast, but for this one I must, because they released the body cam footage, and the first thing this man said is, "I'm Ozuna from the Braves." Like, as if bro's supposed to be like, "Oh shit, Ozuna from the Braves? What, man? Fucking my bad. Have a great night." For first thing he says. Then, after about a 30-second conversation of, "Hey man, you know that you know what the speed limit is?" "No, don't know what it is." "Well, it was 45 and you were not going 45. "Okay." Do the whole interaction of, "This is what you did wrong." And then second he tells him, "Okay, this is what you did wrong." Ozuna, give him a little handshake, daps him up. "All right, sure, man. Like, all right, you have a good one." "No, man. Nah, yes, no. We're not leaving, bro." Oh, Ozuna. God damn it. This man is honestly in a world of not knowing what is going on, but at the same time, I hate to say it, it did make me smirk a little bit. It was kind of amusing because the man twice in the 45-second interaction so far that they've had was genuinely convinced that he was good. He was gonna go, and the cop was just gonna let him drive by. Tyler, Blue, do you guys have any thoughts on this shit?
Honestly, this video was ridiculous because the more that I laughed at how fucking ridiculous he was being, the more I was like, I can't believe he got in the goddamn car and drove if he was this messed up. Just the way he was acting, the way he was talking, everything, I was like, oh my God, like, why did he even get in the car?
I have no idea.
I was also baffled by the, yeah, I'm Marcell Ozuna from the Braves. Here's my driver's license and MLB player ID, so you know that I'm famous.
And then he dabbed up.
Cop goes, all right, here's your stuff back. Hands him his stuff back. He goes, all right, thanks, man. Daps him up like he's about to leave. You're not going nowhere, buddy. Get out of this car. You're not driving away.
It's not how this works, Marcel.
No. That's my thoughts. I mean, I can't believe I was baffled watching the video, and I was like, I can't believe that he would do that. But then I'm like, I wonder how many times he's done that and been successful.
That's
probably more times than I'm comfortable with. That's for sure.
Cops were like, Ozuna for the Braves, man. Were you on that World Series winning team? Well, technically, I was suspended. Did you get a ring?
Hey, yo, get my family some tickets. We're good.
I got a ring. You got us a ring is what you did, Marcel. Have a good night.
Like, hey, get my family, get my kids some tickets.
But
We're
this
good.
cop in Atlanta said, I don't watch baseball. I don't give a fuck. I'm a hockey guy. You fucked up.
I'm a hockey guy, and we don't have hockey, and I'm mad about it still.
I'm an angry Atlanta hockey fan.
I'm an Atlanta Thrasher, bitch.
Yeah, really. Don't have
Get in the car.
It's on this, so I'm
Get in the car.
back out.
Gotta give a shit.
But that's all we have for the MLB update. And with that being said, it's all we have for today's podcast. So
beautiful.
Thank you guys for joining us on today's podcast, today's Ride the Tide Sports Podcast, NFL Draft Edition. You got our fantasy football draft results coming up on next week's podcast. We will have that podcast on Sunday night. We will do it right after the draft. We will do that podcast. We'll have one on Saturday like normal, and then run an emergency pod Sunday night just on our draft. Getting reactions, and we'll see if we can get some guests from the draft to join in as well. That one should be good.
Because
we'll see what happens.
We've been lacking.
But basically being in the dead middle, I might as well.
Dylan's been slumped, so not my fault. Dylan,
you guys were at Fuller's. Don't even care.
And we are up way earlier than you.
That's also true.
You've been slumped the last 2 days, the whole weekend. But thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next time on Ride the Tide Sports Podcast. My name is Tyco. That is McDilly, and that is Snoop Luke up there right next to me. Make sure you guys check out sixpackcoverage.com to get anything that you're looking for podcast-wise, whether it's our podcast, other sports podcasts, health, finance, entertainment, all that good shit. It's on sixpackcoverage.com. Check it out today. Also, you can get merchandise on there as well. Plenty of Six-Pack Coverage merchandise. And we will have the Ride the Tide sports merchandise at the Ride the Tide tailgates. So make sure you find us if we come to a college near you this fall. That is so soon. College football season is about to be here. We will see you guys next episode. Peace out.
Peace.